Good evening, everyone, and thank you for making time to join us tonight. I'm George Dempsey, a board member of PA IPL, and with me is Sister Donna Corba, a longtime PA IPL member, as well as Kathy Habrowski, who's our development and program manager. Our four-part Zoom series this year is once again grounded in the work of Joanna Macy, who developed ways to approach the overwhelming circumstances of a global nature, not by solving them or bypassing them, but by thoughtful, intentional, spiritual, and political engagement. Macy explains that we're living in the time of the great turning when our choices, actions, and attitudes are essential to create and sustain a right relationship with the planet. Our theme for this year is journeying through active hope with the four elements. The elements, air, soil, water, and fire, are a fundamental part of the world. They're the building blocks of nature, the foundations of life in the world. Further, the elements are inherently tied into a cycle. Fire feeds on soil and air, but is easily extinguished by water. Soil is nurtured by water, erodes beneath air, and can either be destroyed by fire or can in turn put out the flames. Air and water connect together to create weather systems and are their own individual cycle within a cycle. None of the elements can exist without the others. They're interconnected. So Joanna developed the spiral shown here as an open invitation to a spiritual practice in hard times or overwhelming circumstances. Our thoughts and activities in each session of this series are centered around the four themes of this spiral: gratitude, honoring our pain, seeing in new ways, and then going forth. So we'd like to start off with a beautiful song about soil by Jan Novatka, and it's called Take Off Your Shoes.
The earth is the burning bush, the earth is holy ground. Take off your shoes, for where you stand is holy. Circle of power, rings of fire, echoes of ancient song, spirits of those who prayed long ago are here. The earth is the burning bush, the earth is holy ground. Take off your shoes, for where you stand is holy. Shadows and light caress this place. where you stand is holy.
O Creator, we thank you and give you praise for Mother Earth. Our feet tread an almost imperceptible path across Earth's valleys, mountains, pastures, deserts, and woodlands. Earth sustains our life with the abundance of her harvests. She shapes us and forms us from the very elements of herself. Earth knows her great power from deep within her molten core, reshaping, reforming, and renewing herself. Earth cradles us on our journey and enfolds us when the journey is complete. O Creator, we thank you and we give you praise for Mother Earth.
The first part of the spiral is grounding ourselves in gratitude. If we're able to face the dire circumstances of our time or of our own personal lives, both the facts and the emotions, we'll be able to do so more resiliently if we start by grounding ourselves in gratitude. And we do this with intention. Because gratitude is not an innate talent, but a skill that can be learned and grown. Gratitude is not dependent on external circumstances. Connecting with a sense of gratitude, while available to all, must also be practiced in order to be available. Fear, anxiety, and a sense of scarcity can make it more difficult to access, but not impossible. Practicing gratitude allows a kind of spiritual gratitude muscle to grow and strengthen.
Poet John O'Donohue writes of the four elements of earth. And so let us respond to each phrase of this poem. Let us bless the earth. Let us bless the imagination of the earth that knew early the patience to harness the mind of time, waited for the seas to warm, ready to welcome the emergence of things, dreaming of voyaging among the stillness of the land. And we all say, let us bless the earth.
And how light knew to nurse the growth until the face of the earth brightens beneath a vision of color. And we say,
Let
let
us
us
bless
bless the
the
earth.
earth. When the ages of ice came and sealed the earth inside an endless coma of cold, the heart of the earth held hope, storing fragments of memory, ready for the return of the sun. And we say, let us bless the earth.
Let us thank the earth that offers ground for home and holds our feet firm to walk in space open to infinite galaxies. And as we say together,
Let us bless the earth. And let us salute the silence and certainty of mountains, their sublime stillness, their dream-filled hearts, and we say, let us bless the earth.
The wonder of a garden, trusting the first warmth of spring until its black infinity of cells becomes charged with dream. Then the silent, slow nurture of the seed's self, coaxing it to trust the act of death. And we say, let us bless
Bless
the
the
earth.
humility of the earth that transfigures all that has fallen of outlived growth. And we say, let us bless the earth.
The kindness of the earth, opening to receive our worn forms into the final stillness. And we say, let
Let
us
us
bless
bless,
the earth.
and let us ask forgiveness of the earth for all our sins against her, for our violence and poisonings of her beauty. And we say, let us bless the earth.
Let us remember within us the ancient clay holding the memory of seasons, the passion of the wind, the fluency of water, the warmth of fire, the quiver touch of the sun, and the shattered sureness of the moon. And we say, let us bless the earth.
That we may awaken to live to the full the dream of the earth, who chose us to emerge and incarnate its hidden night in mind, spirit, and light. And we say, let us bless the earth. And let us take a moment to hold a sense of gratitude in our hearts.
If we were to stop at the first point of the spiral, we might feel good, but not for long and not as deeply as possible. Joanna Macy tells us that to be able to move and shift out of stuck places, both emotionally and intellectually, we must do the hard work of facing complex, difficult emotions. We must honor our pain by naming it, even feeling it. It is in doing so that we're a part of creating liberation from it, dissipating the power of pain to contort our behaviors into ugly or harmful shapes. In our culture, we do avoidance of pain really, really well. The second part of the spiral doesn't come easy, but it's crucial. Finding and creating both safe and brave space to be able to give shape and name to your pain, especially when it's done in community, allows transformation to take place. We're a part of a great collective existence that holds pain, but also holds other possibilities. We thought this next brief video called Crisis, Hope, and Permaculture fit really well in this part of the program because it honors our pain, and yet, as you'll see in the video, we can see some things with some new eyes, which is the next part of the spiral.
The word agriculture comes from agrarian, meaning the soil, and culture, the enrichment of soil. Yet today, modern industrialized agriculture is a system that destroys soils, extracts soils, minerals, and degrades soils and erodes soils. We have lost touch with the natural systems of the culture of soil. topsoil is the layer that allows plants to grow and is decreasing at an alarming rate because of soil erosion. Most of the main crops of the world are eroding soils at 200 tons per acre per year. This cannot go on because topsoil is the basis of life on Earth. If we look at the present world, as a species, we've lost touch with the natural systems, and industrialized agriculture goes against the laws of nature, and we are not separate from nature. To find a solution, we have to look at nature, and we have to build systems where humanity lives that is 70% forest cover, because it's in the forests that we truly learn. And it's the forests that help us to manage our soil's stability and enable that soil to maintain its fertility. The word permaculture comes from permanence and agriculture, but it naturally leads to permanence in culture. It's a system that focuses on solutions rather than problems. It's the art of working with natural systems to create productive ecosystems that provide all the basic needs of humanity. A design science that begins with ethics and mimics natural systems in any landscape, in any climate, anywhere on Earth. Permaculture is the way we go beyond sustainability and into resilience.
The third part of the spiral is seeing with new eyes. In other words, seeing in new ways. If we equip ourselves with the protection of gratitude, and if we've journeyed into the land of honoring our pain, we just might find on the other side a new way of beholding our circumstance, new ways that generate healing and move us away from harm of ourselves and others. Leaning into our connection with others, we can consider new perspectives, help us see in new ways, help us entertain what may well be impossible, but may shed light on other actual possibilities. We also have another short video for this part of our program called Why Soil Matters.
We know more about the stratosphere and the atmosphere than we know about the soil at our feet. And the soil at our feet contains 1 billion microorganisms per teaspoonful. Those microorganisms, they need to eat. What do they need to eat? They consume organic matter. And organic matter exudes the nutrients the plant needs. That's poorly understood. And that's a huge reason why chemical agriculture has destroyed the life in the soil.
What's in our soil is what we eat and what we're comprised of. We have to build up the mineral content in our soil so that we have mineral-dense, nutrient-dense food that then equates to healthy people.
Soil really is the nutritional bank account for our existence. When I'm looking for who I want to be farming, who I want to be growing for our restaurants, who is a steward of the land, who is building soil while they're producing food. And that's what we're supporting with Cafe Gratitude.
And when people eat the Sexy 7 kale same-day Caesar salad that we're putting on the menu right now, they are literally vibrating afterwards. It's a visceral feeling.
As an urban farmer, we focus primarily on reducing waste. We practice regenerative agriculture, which basically composts and vermicomposts everything on the farm, turning it back into optimum soil. And optimum soil equals optimum health.
It's really been such a joy to bring healthy eating into my family and into my son's life. And we both feel the difference. You can just see the vitality. And his connection to nature is a little more intact. He really likes worms and he likes digging in the garden. And he's interested about where the foods he ate came from. And he's interested to see a seed turn into a plant that turns into something on his plate.
I think we can all do our role in building healthy soils, even if you're not a farmer. The best thing you can do is try to compost your organic waste. If you have curbside commercial compost collection, utilize that service. If you don't have that service, start up a community composting bin in your apartment complex.
We can either throw a banana peel into the trash and go to the landfill and create methane gas, which is more potent greenhouse gas than CO2, or we could look at that banana peel and the potential of it. If we were to compost it, it's not just returning the banana peel to the soil. The potential of it is all of the life that will form because we fed the banana peel. All of a sudden, we're returning life to the soil, which is why healthy soil exists, and we can make even more healthy food.
Together, we can do something that we've never done before. Take the stuff we're putting in landfills, compost it, make it into organic fertilizers, and restore soil.
Soil health equals human health, plain and simple. If we take care of our soil, we take care of our environment, it's a win-win.
And now we invite you to get in a relaxed position. Feel free to turn off your camera if you'd like. And we're going to do a guided meditation on connecting to the element of soil.
Hi, my name is Chandler Payne. I am excited to bring you on a journey of healing with the soil as our grounding inspiration. The soil is a silent hero beneath our feet, one of the most amazing things on earth. It turns death into life. It connects and nurtures everything around it, including the blooming flowers, the buzzing bees, and the people who rely on it for fruits and vegetables. Like the soil, when we are cared for, we can bring so much good into others' lives. When we fill ourselves up with love, joy, and peace, these feelings overflow into the world around us. Begin by connecting with your breath. I breathe in, I know that I'm breathing in. I breathe out, I know that I am breathing out. I am at home in this body, supported by the earth beneath me, which is living and breathing along with me. The earth sends me love and healing light, grounding my body from the top of my head to the bottoms of my feet. As I sit here or lie down, I send love back to the earth. I am surrendering my worries and pains to the vibrant soil beneath my feet, allowing them to be regenerated into pure love. I am easing into oneness with my surroundings and gently noticing the sounds around me. All sounds are welcome in my loving awareness. I am noticing the sensation in my feet which kiss the earth. For the next 5 minutes, just be. Notice the sounds around you. Observe the sensations. Simply follow the breath. I'll keep time. Let's continue growing our unconditional love through gratitude practice and positive affirmations. Thank you for the blue sky above. Thank you for the sacred earth beneath my feet. Thank you for the oxygen that allows me to be alive. Thank you for the strength in my body. I appreciate my mental strength. I appreciate my 2 hands that can make the world a better place. I am grateful for clean water. I am grateful for all the plants and animals. I am grateful for my challenges. I am grateful for change. I am grateful for my favorite music. I appreciate my lovely smile. I appreciate you. I am beautiful because I can heal myself and others. I am beautiful because I can handle anything that comes my way. I am beautiful because I am a peacemaker. I was born worthy. like every living being on this planet. I love myself and my home, the earth. We are one. We will now foster care for all forms of life with which we inter-are through loving kindness practice. We will now foster care for all forms of life with which we inter-are through loving kindness practice. Please think of someone you love, perhaps a friend, family member, or pet. Imagine their smiling face. Send them compassion. May you be well. May you be free from suffering. As you state these or some other words of compassion, breathe in love for yourself and breathe out love for your fellow human beings and the planet. And now, think of an acquaintance. They may be a neighbor or a colleague or a classmate. Anyone you feel largely indifferent to, and send good feelings their way. May you be well. May you be free from suffering. Now, expand your loving kindness to all of the people in your neighborhood. May you all be well. May you all be free from suffering. And then expand it to every living thing in the world, including yourself. May we be well. May we be free from suffering. Thank you so much for meditating with me. May your life be full of joy. Namaste.
And as you are ready, please come back to this time and place. Exploring the spiral is best done in a group, in community as we are tonight. We ask that everyone honor the working agreement that's shown here as we move into the next part of our program, which is our breakout session. Our working agreement is that we speak for ourselves, starting sentences with I, bringing our presence and participation. We want you to speak up. Ask before sharing anything offered here to anyone outside the group because our stories are our own. And the most important thing is that we hear one another and experience being heard because we consider ourselves a community of practice. So some thoughtful questions for our few minutes in our breakout session are: what grounds you? And or how can grounding oneself lead to a more sustainable future for Earth? So at this point, we could share some wisdom from our groups if anybody would like to share anything that they felt the rest of the group might gain some wisdom from. If you'd like to do the put your hand up icon, you could do that, or um, just give us a wave and we'll try to notice you here and let you share something. Anything anybody would like to share? Okay, it looks like Mo has her hand up. If you'd like to speak, Mo.
Yeah, we didn't get in too deep of a conversation in our group, but I can just tell you that the wisdom in our group was palpable. The love for land and nature, and we're nature too, but non-human nature, and so that's the wisdom. I mean, that was just the wisdom was just very palpable of love for land.
Thank you for sharing that. I think somebody else had their hand up and now I can't see the hand. Oh, Karen, would you like to share?
Yeah, I was in the same group with Mo, and we did sort of a comparative, just sharing about different kinds of landscape environments. I guess her front yard is is my kind of front yard, and she's in a city, but it has features of just being kind of a wild place as well. And I'll let her tell you more about how she does that. I live in like a planned community. We have beautiful plants and trees here, but they're not really suited to be, good for water or soil. The way they're planted and stuff, it's odd. But God, you just have to love them. They're so beautiful. And I was talking about, there was a rainstorm going on during the meditation, and it connected me to how the world comes together in the different elements, and I'm always quite aware of how much water is moving through this system, and so that's how I ground myself, is by being aware of how these things work together. And then I can't read. Mary was talking about just having an insect around her, how that connects her to the living world. And Greg was talking about seeing wildlife emerging when he was out doing work with the soil. So, it's all about interacting and noticing things and being part of the things that you notice, I think. I mean, that's kind of what we talked about. I thought we went pretty deep with that. So, yeah, it was great.
Very good. Thank you for sharing that. Anybody else who'd like to share a comment?
I wasn't in a breakout session. This is Kathy, but I just wanted to let everyone know that I learned recently through a meditation group that I participate in, that there are many people around the world who are affected by electronic signals. The for lack of a better term, radio waves or computer waves that are flying through the atmosphere. And I met a woman in our group who is affected profoundly by these electronic signals, to the point where she can't have an electronic water meter or an electricity meter on her home. And what she does every day is she goes out into her favorite park where there's an enormous ancient oak tree, and she grounds herself by sitting on the ground, literally sitting next to the oak tree and putting as much of her, or lying down and putting as much of her body in contact with the earth near the tree as she can. And apparently oaks are particularly known for their ability to absorb electricity from your body. And this is a physical grounding, not a psychological grounding, but she's physically taking the energy out of her body and guiding it into the earth, thanks to the oak tree. And I'm sure it has vast psychological benefits for her too, being in the environment. And I find, Donna and I, while you all were all on your break rooms, we were talking about our bike and hike. And I find that if I am able to walk or bike in the environment, either slowly with a group where we're purely meditating, or alone where I'm just opening my mind and my body to the sounds and the sun or the shade or the wind that's around me, I receive such benefit from that. I call it my forest bathing. So this is very informal forest bathing, but the Japanese do have a method that they call forest bathing, which you do in a more guided, formal way. But I just find so much strength and relief and peace and joy from getting out into nature. So that's how I ground myself. I think if we don't continue those types of practices, that we don't have much hope for a sustainable future at all. So I'm thankful for all of you who continue this work, because with you and with spreading the word, I'm sure that we will have a more sustainable future.
Thank you for sharing that, Kathy. Very interesting about the woman with the oak tree. Any last sharings before we move to the last part of our program? Okay, I don't see any more hands up, so we'll move on to going forward. The fourth and last part of the spiral is called going forward. With the first 3 points of the spiral, we're cultivating resilience, building stamina, and growing emotional and spiritual intelligence. The fourth point on the spiral is where we take what we've integrated as individuals and as a group practicing together and apply it to our lives, to our communities, and to society. The hope is that in going forth, you've been strengthened so you can be of service to what Joanna calls the great turning, that you might now embody the courage and creativity that's required of all of us in this time of crisis, in this time of opportunity.
Thank you for joining us this evening. Please join me in the prayer for the earth. Thank you for the ground beneath our feet, your good earth that gives life to all. In a mystery we don't understand, green plants spring forth from your darkness. Canyons and mountains, plains and deserts show us your infinite imagination. We thank you for this firm foundation on which to build our homes and our lives. May we always love this land as you love it. May we care for this good earth that gives us such good life.
And we thank these women who will offer their reflection and ode to the soil. These women from India will use song and dance and mime for their message and ode to soil.
இது வாழ்வின் எல்ல நாம் ஒன்னா சேர்ந்தா மாறும் நிலைமை சேரும் மண்ணின் வளமை சேரும் மண்ணின் வளமை தாமன் வரப்பெருக்குது நம்மோட வயலோரம் வருங்காலம் முழுதும் தான் சந்தோஷம் வீசுது ஒவ்வொரு மனதோறும் அந்த நினைப்பு வந்துதான் அருகி கசியுது என்னோட மனதோறும்
Thank you so much for joining us this evening. And we hope that you will join us for our next program in the next couple of months, which is going to be on the element of fire. And before you leave, if we can just take 1 minute, Kathy is going to tell you about one of the events of PA IPL here in the month of May that's pretty important. Kathy?
Thank you, George. It's always a pleasure to work with George and Donna on this quarterly series of Active Hope. I'm especially enjoying air and soil, so I'm looking forward to fire. That sounds pretty exciting in the third quarter. PA IPL welcomed a new executive director last fall. Her name is Katie Ruth. Unfortunately, she couldn't be with us tonight because she's lobbying for the environment in Washington, D.C. But on behalf of all of us at PA IPL, our staff and our board, I'd love to invite you to visit our new website. I put some of the links in the chat. You'll be able to see our new website at paipl.us. And there will be information there, including our new logo. We have a brand new logo, so we're quote unquote rebranding ourselves. So we're a little softer in the colorways. It's a very pretty logo. Also, you'll be able to find their information on the bike and hike, and we have a separate bike and hike website as well. Our bike and hike typically runs from May 1st to May 31st. We are completely virtual this year, except Katie will be visiting every region that's part of our bike and hike. And I probably should have pulled up the dates for those before we got started. I'm going to go there now. She will be in State College on
Saturday, this Saturday.
May 13th, correct, Greg? Thanks.
Yep.
You know where she's going to be, Greg?
Walnut Springs Park in State College, 10 o'clock.
She'll be in Walnut Springs Park in State College at 10 o'clock. On May 14th, she'll be in Pittsburgh at the Pump House in Homestead from 2 to 4. We're probably going to attend a church service in the morning, and then we'll be over at the Homestead Pump House at 2 o'clock. And then she'll be in Scranton on May 27th. Yay, Scranton! May 28th in Philadelphia and May 31st in Harrisburg. So I invite you to take a look at our website to find the details for those events. Also, what we'll be doing at these events is a fair amount of advocacy. One of our main advocacy efforts is called Prayers for the Earth. So we will be collecting physical prayers for the earth. If you attend these events, you'll be able to write down your prayers. And these can be spiritual. They can just be completely prayer related or meditative or spiritually related, or they can be for actual concrete things. And when we collect these, we are going to deliver them to the office of Governor Josh Shapiro. So we know that as a man of faith, he will take these to heart and appreciate our efforts. There's a Google form that you can submit your prayer for Governor Shapiro digitally, and I did put that in the chat as well. And then if you can't attend an in-person event, you can do that there. As part of our First Friday series, if you would like a rain barrel and you live in Southeast Pennsylvania or Southwestern Pennsylvania, contact me for the link to the Southeast Google form to order, and contact me for a delivery date for Southwest Pennsylvania. And our advocacy team is working on the EPA comment period right now on the mercury rule. that link is in the chat as well, and it is going to say methane rule, but it is actually the mercury rule. So sorry about that. The link makers of the world did not change the words, but what we're asking for in this advocacy effort is to help the EPA understand why we think it's so important that they should limit mercury in our environment, because it affects our health and the health of all of the creatures that we share the planet with. So thank you so much for your time. Yes.
Kathy, I'm not seeing any of those things that you said you've put in the chat, and
Okay,
I'm
I'll
not sure
put
if
them
that's
in.
just me or whether other people are not seeing them as well.
I just put them in again, so let's see.
I'm getting them.
I see them now. They just popped up.
Good, great. Oh, Donna and I were talking about this earlier. So unfortunately, what happens when you join Zoom dictates what you see in the chat and what you don't. So thanks for reminding me to put those in again, Bill, because if we have latecomers, they will not see those. Thank you all again. It's been a pleasure being with you this evening.
Thank you, everyone, and have a blessed evening.